map and wondered why the Korean peninsula is actually split into two different countries, North Korea and South Korea? Well, to find out the answer, we actually have to go way back in time. This is the story of why the Korean peninsula is split into North Korea and South Korea, and the reason actually goes way further back than you might think. In the beginning, Korea was actually divided into three kingdoms, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla. Instead of just being a single Korea, Goguryeo was the largest in the north, covering much of North Korea and even parts of Manchuria in China. Baekje was located in the southwest of the peninsula, around South Korea, and Silla was in the southeast, also in South Korea. These kingdoms lasted from the 1st century to 668 AD. The first unification of the Korean kingdom happened in 668 AD, called the Kingdom of Silla. With help from China's Tang dynasty, Silla defeated the Baekje and Goguryeo kingdoms and unified most of the Korean peninsula. This period is called the Unified Silla period, from 668 to 935. After Silla weakened, the Goryeo dynasty from 918 to 1392 reunified the peninsula with the rise of its leader, Wanggeon. He named it Goryeo, and the name Korea actually comes from Goryeo, making Wanggeon a vital part of the Korean peninsula. After Goryeo weakened and the rise of General Yi Sang-gai happened, the Joseon dynasty from 1392 to 1897 ruled the unified Korea for over 500 years. In 1897, this dynasty had become weak, and Korea became the short-lived Korean Empire from 1897 to 1910 until it quickly faced tension from nearby neighbors. It came under pressure from Japan, China, and Russia. These neighbors quickly came to be a key part of Korea's division after the Korean Empire. Japan was the first country to fully impact the split of Korea. Japan managed to modernize fast. After the Meiji Restoration in 1868, when the Emperor Meiji took over from the Tokugawa shogunate, Japan transformed into a modern industrial and military power after taking inspiration from Europe. Japan beat China in the First Sino-Japanese War in 1894 to 1895, and also surprisingly beat Russia in the Russo-Japanese War in 1904 to 1905. And Japan now dominated this part of the world in the early 1900s. In 1910, Japan officially managed Korea, ruling it as a colony in the Japanese Empire all the way until 1945. When Japan was defeated in World War II by the Allied powers, including the likes of the Soviet Union and the United States, Korea was freed, but Korea wasn't given independence right away. Instead, the Allies divided Korea along the 38th parallel, which was a line of latitude across the middle of the peninsula. The 38th parallel was chosen due to Japan surrendering in 1945, and the Allies had to quickly choose how to handle Korea. In August of 1945, two American officers, Dean Rusk and Charles Bonesteel, suggested the 38th parallel because it was in the middle of the Korean peninsula and kept Seoul, the capital in the south in the US zone. By this time, the Soviets were already in the north, moving from Manchuria, making this divide natural. At first, this divide was supposed to be temporary, but tensions between the Soviets and the Americans quickly turned it into a permanent division. By 1948, two rival governments had already formed. In the north was the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, led by Kim Il-sung and supported by the Soviets. In the south was the Republic of Korea, backed by the United States. But the turning point came in 1950 when North Korea invaded South Korea, hoping to reunify the peninsula by force. This started the Korean War, which lasted until 1953. The conflict drew in the United States, United Nations forces, and China. After 3 years of devastating battles, the war did not end up anywhere, and the border was fixed near the 38th parallel yet again. the dividing line became to be the DMZ and Demilitarized Zone, which became to be one of the most heavily guarded borders in the world. That led to North Korea developing into a closed communist state under the Kim dynasty, while South Korea grew into a democratic and economically powerful country. And that's why, when you look at a map today, you see a divided Korea with North Korea and South Korea because of lasting history legacies of different battles.
That's for today's video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe.